Good morning, everyone. Today's session we are starting a new chapter, that is chapter 4, moving charges and magnetism. Okay. So previously it was assumed that there is no relation between electricity and magnetism. So electricity is a separate topic and magnetism is a separate topic. But in the year 1820, a scientist named as Oersted has intimately found the relation between electricity and magnetism through his experiment. So he has given that relation between electricity and magnetism as Oersted experiment. So the first question is, what is Oersted experiment? How he explained the relation between electricity and magnetism? What are the conclusions given by Oersted through his experiment? Okay. So first of all, he has taken a conductor AB, which is connected to a battery with the help of a plug key. Okay, and then he has taken a magnetic needle. So this is considered as a magnetic needle. One side will be coated black color, which is taken as a north pole, and the other side is considered as a south pole. So now this magnetic needle is pivoted on a stand so that it can freely rotate in clockwise direction as well as in anti-clockwise direction. So this magnetic needle is placed just below the conductor, which is connected to the battery with the help of a plug key. Okay. So whenever this key is opened, this behaves as an open circuit and no current flows, and we do not observe any deflection in the magnetic needle. So when the key is pressed, current start flowing from A to B. So that is, the current flow is from south to north direction. So whenever the current flows from south to north, he observes a deflection in the magnetic needle in such way that the north pole of the magnetic needle is deflecting towards west side. Okay, when current move from south to north pole of the magnetic needle deflect towards west side. So that means this indicates the direction of the magnetic field and this indicates the direction of the electric field. So that means electric fields and magnetic fields are always at right angles to each other, perpendicular to each other. Okay. Now when the direction of the current is reversed, that is when it is moving from north to south, he observed the deflection in the north pole of the magnetic needle towards east side. Okay. So this observation was observed by Oersted by placing magnetic needle just below the current carrying conductor. So this AB is now considered as a current carrying conductor, and he observed the deflection in the needle when this is placed below the current carrying conductor. Okay. So next, when he placed the needle above the current carrying conductor, then he observed the deflection in the needle just as reverse as in that of first case. That means when current flow from south to north, the north will deflect towards east side. When current flow from north to south, that is deflecting towards west side. So from this experiment, he has given out some conclusions. So the first one is, a magnetic field is produced around a current carrying conductor. Okay. So that means this magnetic needle will get deflected only when this is placed in a magnetic field. So that means when this magnetic field is deflecting towards west side or east side, we can understand that there is some magnetic field produced around this current carrying conductor, which makes the magnetic needle to deflect towards north side, deflect towards west side or east side. So first conclusion is a magnetic field is produced around a current carrying conductor. So second one is, a charge in motion can produce both electric field as well as magnetic field. So we already know that a charge in motion, a charge at rest can produce only electric field around it, but a charge in motion can produce both electric field as well as magnetic field. Okay. And third conclusion is, he has taken the conductor which is passing through the center of a cardboard, and this conductor AB is connected to a battery with the help of a plug key K. Okay, so this conductor is piercing through the center of a cardboard, and this is connected to the battery with the help of a plug key. So whenever the current is flowing through this conductor, before making the current to flow through this conductor, we are spraying some iron fillings on this cardboard in irregular manner. Okay, so when these iron fillings are sprayed in irregular order, as soon as the current flows through the conductor, these are aligning in the form of concentric circles. Okay, so iron fillings are aligned in the form of concentric circles around this conductor. So these are the three conclusions given by Oersted from his experiment. Okay, so magnetic field is produced around a current carrying conductor. A charge in motion can produce both electric field as well as magnetic field. Iron fillings are aligned in the form of concentric circles around this current carrying conductor. Okay, so this is the Oersted experiment. Now, how can we determine the direction of this magnetic field produced? By this moving charges. Okay, so for that we are defining a set of rules. Okay, yeah. The next one is rules for determining the direction of magnetic field. Okay, so here we are defining three rules for determining the direction of the magnetic field. So first one is right hand thumb rule. Already you are aware of this right hand thumb rule in grade 10. Okay, so state right hand thumb rule. So hold a current carrying conductor AB in such a way. So hold the current carrying conductor in such a way that the thumb specifies the direction of the current and the curl of the four fingers around the conductor specify the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, so thumb indicates the direction of electric current and the curl of the four fingers around the conductor specify the direction of magnetic field. Okay, so now the magnetic field around the conductor is in this direction. So that means when current is moving upwards, the direction of the magnetic field around the conductor will be moving in clockwise direction. Okay, so like this. So that means the magnetic field is acting into the plane. So that is acting into the plane. Okay, so magnetic field is acting into the plane, which is indicated by the symbol cross. Okay, so whenever the current is moving in the downward direction, that means if you just reverse like this, the direction of the current is moving downwards and the curl of the four fingers is moving in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so this is anti-clockwise direction when current is in upward direction. So anti-clockwise direction is field is acting into the plane. When current is moving in the downward direction, that is clockwise direction. So the field is acting out of the plane. Okay, so this is into the field is acting out of the plane. So that is out of the plane. So when current is moving upwards, that is acting into the plane. So wherever you are getting the symbol as into, the field is acting into the plane. Wherever you are getting the symbol dot, the field is acting out of the plane. Okay, so that is one. So you can apply in this manner. So this is field acting into the plane. When current upwards, that is anti-clockwise direction. When current is downwards, that is out of the plane, clockwise direction. Similarly, you can apply like this also, like this also. So this acting into the plane, is acting out of the plane. Okay, so like that you can identify the direction of the magnetic field. And second one is Maxwell corkscrew rule. Okay, so Maxwell corkscrew rule means this is considered as a screw and this is considered as a cork around it. Okay, so it is just like a pen. So whenever you are rotating like this or like this, the pointer will be moving in the forward direction, the pointer will be moving in the backward direction. So the direction of the pointer specify the direction of the current and the rotation of the cork will specify the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, so in both the cases this electric current and magnetic fields are always at right angles to each other. And third one is Ampere's swimming rule. Okay, Ampere's swimming rule. So imagine a man swimming along the direction of a current carrying conductor along the direction of a current carrying conductor facing towards the north pole of the magnetic needle. So that means magnetic needle is placed like this. This is north pole and south pole. Okay. So imagine a man swimming along the direction of flow of current across the conductor, facing his face towards the north pole of the magnetic needle, so that the north pole will be deflecting towards his left hand side. Okay. So that means electric current is moving in this direction and magnetic field is acting in this direction. So therefore, when man is swimming along the direction of flow of current, the north pole placed below the conductor, north pole of the magnetic needle is deflecting towards his left hand side. So in all the three cases, states that electric field and magnetic fields are at right angles to each other. That means a change in electric field will produce a magnetic field, and a change in magnetic field will produce electric field. So that electricity and magnetism are intimately related to each other according to these rules and Oersted experiment. So this is the first topic. Okay. Coming to the next topic. So fields are nothing but magnetic fields produced, and sources are nothing but current carrying conductors. So sources are the current carrying conductors which produces this magnetic fields. So fields means magnetic field. So how can we define this magnetic field? So magnetic field is nothing but the space around a magnetic pole. So you know magnet has two poles. Magnet has two poles. One is north pole and south pole. So the space around a magnetic pole to where it can exert a magnetic force and induce magnetism in matter when placed in it is called magnetic field. Okay. So the space around a magnetic pole, so this is a north pole. So the space around a magnetic pole to where it can exert a magnetic force and induce magnetism in matter when placed in it is called as magnetic field. Okay. So now you already know that electric field. So similar to that, space around a charge where it can influence electric force on another charged particles when placed very close to it is called as electric field. Okay. So here, if M is the magnetic pole having a strength M, magnetic pole has pole strength. So this M indicates pole strength. Okay. And B specify magnetic field strength. Like electric field strength, we are having magnetic field strength, which is indicated by the letter B. Okay. So let F be the force exerted by pole strength M, then force experienced by unit pole strength when placed in magnetic field is called as magnetic field strength. Okay. So F by Q is equal to capital E, F by M is equal to capital B. So force experienced by unit pole strength when placed at a point in the magnetic field is called magnetic field strength. So from that you can take F is equal to MB. So these are the two basic questions. So one is F is equal to EQ. That means force experienced by the charged particle when placed in electric field is given by F is equal to EQ. Force experienced by the magnetic pole in magnetic field is given by F is equal to MB. So these are the two basic questions, right? And magnetic field strength can be measured in the unit of Newton per ampere meter. So we will discuss this pole strength in magnetism chapter. So the unit of pole strength is ampere meter. So this can be measured in the unit of Newton per ampere meter, or this can be measured in joule per ampere meter square, or this can be measured in Weber per meter square, or this can be measured in Tesla. Okay. So Newton per ampere meter, joule per ampere meter square, Weber per meter square, Tesla. So these are the SI unit of this magnetic field strength, and CGS unit is Gauss. So name of the scientist Gauss. Okay. So here 1 Gauss is equal to 10 power minus 4 Tesla. Okay. So this is about the magnetic field and magnetic field strength and unit of magnetic field strength. Okay. So these magnetic fields are produced by the sources which are known as current carrying conductors. Okay. So this is the second topic. So next let us move to the third topic, which is motion of a charged particle in magnetic field. So how does the motion of charged particle will be in the magnetic field? So we can compare the motion of the charged particle in electric field first. Already we have done that, motion of a charged particle in electric field. So now let us see how the motion of the charged particle will be when it enters in magnetic field in this next topic. Okay, thank you.